Boy, when you reflect on what you saw in the finals last year, I mean, that San Antonio performance is going to be tough to beat from a team perspective and how they just dismantled Miami. As you watch that, Smitty, what stood out above all?
It was seriously 1 through 12. Every guy that came off the bench, Kenny likes to say it, and I love his take on this. You watch their bench when guys are not in the game. I mean, they are up cheering, and you had a Patty Mills at times. In spurts, could be the best player for the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard, obviously, more time. Boris Diaw at times, and that's what you got to give a lot of credit to Pop. It wasn't just going to Tony, Tim, Manu. I mean, there were times when they were isolating Boris Diaw. You know, their whole thing is good to great. Instead of taking a good shot, get a great shot, and the ball doesn't stick. I mean, that's the Spurs way, and it was inside out, and now they're basically playing outside in with the team they have now.
What I like about their role players is that they master their roles. I played with a couple guys that were masterful at their roles. Rick, Big Shot Bob, B. Shaw, Gary Payton, and, you know, the way they move the ball. You know, it was similar to when they beat us that year, the way they moved the ball. They hit timely shots, and, you know, they also had this look in his eye, I mean, a look in their eye that we're not going to lose, and it just showed. And, you know, like you said, 1 through 12, they played great. They hit timely shots, and, you know, Greg Popovich, you know, he's a master motivator.
Yeah. Popovich had a coach by the name of Hank Egan. I don't know if you met.
I played for Hank.
Yeah, and he was on Pop's staff for a long time. And, you know, so that philosophical thought of pass, move, screen, move without the basketball, get away from pattern basketball, get away from play calling, philosophical thought, me understanding you, critical thinking out on the court. You know, that's what they got back to. And it wasn't so much data and analytics. It was about growing the men and the values of the game. And that's what we saw in San Antonio.
It was a clinic. I mean, in ball movement and hit the open man who has an open, good shot, but I'll make the extra pass. This guy has a more open, even better shot. And it was that way the entire series, Chauncey.
Yeah, it was. And to your point, Isaiah, in order for you to play that way, you got to have basketball players. You got to have guys that know how to play.
As opposed to you got to have stars, you got to have basketball players.
Yeah, you got to have your guys that you got to have some closers that can finish the game out, but you got to have basketball players, guys that know how to play unselfishly with one another. The great teams, as we all know, the great teams, sometimes the coach, he don't have to call a play for 4, 5, 6 minutes in a game because you're out there just playing basketball.
The hardest.
Know how to play.
And not that they don't have stars. I mean, you got Tim Duncan, Tony Parker.
Yeah, but it's different. They were utilized differently. They were utilized differently. And now, they said, well, we're going to give it to LeBron, or we're going to give it to Kevin Durant, we're going to give it to Westbrook, and we're going to pick and roll. And we're going to just keep the ball 80% in those guys' hand because we're scared that those other guys can't do it. And Popovich said, I'm not scared that my guys can't.
But you know what's interesting, though?
So would you rather have basketball players with higher IQ or basketball players that are very talented, guys that can run?
Well, high IQ, because, high IQ guys
all day
with talent.
Well, Coach and I used to say this. You always take intelligence over ability. You know, you win with smart people. And the interesting thing that I see with us on the panel is that all of us come from the same philosophical teaching tree. You know, you at North Carolina, Dean Smith, Coach Knight, passing game, Judd, passing game, San Antonio, passing game, yourself, Rick, Shaq. So when teams were playing against the Lakers and you had Phil Jackson sitting over there, you had Tex Winters sitting over there, you had that brain trust sitting over there, it was like, you gonna beat them?
Is trust the key ingredient, or one of the key ingredients in a championship mix? Foxy?
I think so.
Or Smitty, go ahead.
I think when you start to look at championships, I'm looking at all these guys and the team I played for, I think the best players have to buy into the culture, to what the coach is selling, what the GM is selling. If they don't buy in, you know, it's obviously hard for everybody else to buy in. I think that championship culture starts with the best player, and then that's when it trickles down. I think the culture is big, but you know, just going back to something too as well. That couch over there with Isaiah and Shaq, they had the pressure, would they win?
as individuals. We had the pressure as would we win as a team.
Right.
So when people always said, like, will Shaq win another one? They never said, will the Lakers win? Like, how many will Shaq win? So that pressure is way different. How many will Isaiah win? Way different than will your team, because you can always, when you have that night where you kind of just, you play good, you didn't play extraordinary, you didn't play poorly, you can fade into the paint.